with their funds, or maybe trying to recover their money. But let's take a look at what is happening. Then after this video, you will still be the one to decide if you are going to proceed with the process or you are going to leave it. Okay, but I would say first, let me say this before I proceed. It is good to diversify your applications, like open your tentacles, put applications everywhere, okay, so that what works best for you, you take it and move. Now this video is going to be made up of two sections. I will address the issue, then talk about some admissions, then talk about some skills that and things that relates to the labor market, employers in Poland. First thing first, let's talk about the admissions. Admissions is now very competitive because of the new law in Poland. Before I proceed, please check the description box and subscribe to the new YouTube channel. The channel we are going to be dropping content for Korea, South Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand and Canada. The channel is below. Okay, subscribe to it and turn on the notification. Then if you want to talk to me one-on-one, the booking link is below. Let's proceed. So there is a new law, and to even get admissions now is not going to be easy. Now what can you do? The thing you should do is to apply. If you think you can get an appointment and possibly put in for visa, fine and good, apply and put in for other applications as well. But if you are from Central Africa or West Africa, I will not advise you to do this, because to get appointment is going to be a problem. Of course, people are paying for, but if you are from North or East Africa, you can put in, because I know the embassy in South Africa is not that complicated. But people are buying appointments. Do not buy it. Don't buy anything. But they don't listen. This is what I usually say. But if you are watching this now, please avoid buying anything, because it's not guaranteed. And if you are from West Africa, I will advise you not to apply to Poland. Now, while you are doing this, remember the issues in Ukraine affected a lot of people, and still now people are running into Poland, right, for safety. Now, those who are in some of them are moving to neighboring countries, but as I speak to you, Poland is already choked up, and they are also looking for possibilities how they can cater for some of these people. It is a lot on the government. Now, one thing I usually tell people is, and they do not know this, I'm talking generally now, when you see a country opens its border to immigrants, especially international students, at the end of the day you see it starts struggling, know that they have reached their quota. Now I'm saying this to those who are applying for Malta. As soon as every country has a particular number of international students they take per year. Once they get that number they need, they will no longer accept students again into their country. Very soon you start seeing appointment not available, or maybe they will start giving rejections. So it is now your turn to be wise and smart and know what you are doing. In the case of Poland is already saturated. Now applying would be a waste of time, and because of these things, that is why you see you cannot get appointment. Secondly, you apply and you get a rejection. Yeah, you cannot blame the embassy that because they already know that they have this, they cannot openly just put it there. I mean, no, this is for educational purpose only. Please, I'm just guiding people. Yeah, I'm just like a messenger, and for education, teaching you how to do it. So it's not like I do not like. Of course they are doing a great job and protecting citizens, but you have to be strategic, okay? And looking at it now, a lot of things have changed as well, like I'm telling you. And if you watch the other videos, you will hear me mention the new laws in terms of English proficiency, in terms of getting interviews and a whole lot. So now let's go to the other updates. If you are an international student, you want to apply to Poland. Of course, admissions have a specific time, like they always open their portals at certain time intervals, usually from February, March, April, May. Now, what you should be doing is, because of all these changes, they are looking for people in specific sectors, okay? And an example of those areas is the tech industry. And if you want to apply to Poland, it will be good for you to target something like software engineering. It's good for you to target things like cyber security, artificial intelligence, okay, nanochemistry. But if you cannot do that, it's good for you to go into areas like green energy, sustainability, environmental studies and also environmental technology, all these areas, or toxicology. But if you cannot take it, go into manufacturing engineering, anything in that particular area, okay, or civil engineering. If you cannot, target programs in the health sector, the healthcare or engineering or caregiving, okay, personal support worker, nurses, caregivers, and a whole lot. Focus on these areas. Then, if you think it's not going to work, you can also focus on areas of problem solving and maybe adaptability. All of these areas, these are the things I can support. That, yeah, if you want to take admissions, if you're applying for any program, try as much as possible to focus here, because these are the areas that are selling now. It's not just in Poland, it's in everywhere around Europe, even in Canada, it's still the same thing. You cannot be complaining as an international student that you moved to Poland, you have not gotten a job. It takes time to adapt, and you need to adapt then to know where you can actually enter, the areas you can go in to actually find opportunities, right? It will take you time. This is why I always say that get money on you before you migrate, because of course when you migrate you need cash for accommodation, for feeding, before later on you can sort yourself with a part-time job or something. If you are moving to Poland, maybe you got a job which is even more difficult now from Africa. If you manage to get a job, remember there are things your employer must do. Okay, and one of them is your employer has to notify the authorities that you are starting your job. And I think usually it's 7 days before you start, something like that. Make sure you ask them if they've notified authorities to avoid further complications on your side. Then also remember, they will also inform the authorities about the starting time of your job and the ending time of the job. They will also inform authorities in case you leave the job or you leave early. Okay, then they will also inform authorities if you took a break and didn't return back from the break. It all depends now on your employer. Of course, if you take more than 2 months on a break, because normally a break is usually 1 month everywhere around the globe, except that in other areas I do not know. But all of this boils down to your employer informing authorities so that everything can be transparent for you to avoid issues in the long run. Now, if you are also working with the employer, also try to verify if they are keeping your record. Track record is very important, and please understand that you can only work full time. Of course, people will tell you that, oh, you can work full time as a student, and but again, you need to think, you need to be strategic. Country that brought you through the academic pathway, maybe working full time 40 hours a week or maybe more, is a red flag, because they actually registered you as a student. Nobody needs to tell you again that you need to go to school and before you can work part-time. Well, it's not usually stated somehow on websites of the immigration department, but you need to understand it is something that nobody needs to tell you, because somewhere along the line you didn't even tell the visa officer that you are coming to Poland to work. You told them that you are coming to study. That's why they gave you the visa. But it is always advantage for international students to do whatever thing part-time. So if they give you the part-time opportunities, do not violate it, because at the end of the day you are putting more pressure on you, and it will read from the system that probably you work full time. This is another complication, because now it will look like you are a full-time worker whereas you are not and you're a student. These are the type of complications that can hold you, and when you are trying to apply for a stay back visa, they will refuse because they notice a lot of lapses in the system. So I'm just here to enlighten you on some of these things, so I believe you can work more on it, and yeah, hopefully you will meet again around Europe. Now, I will say that one last thing, do not depend on, oh, I am applying for jobs to move abroad. Don't depend on it. If you have academic credentials, try to put in for university application, and not Poland. You may decide to pick a country based on your financial capability, and maybe within Europe, of course, it's possible. and then you apply. When you get a visa, you move in and study first. If you choose not to go to school, understand that the disadvantages may be more than the advantages. Now, this video is for people who usually ask me, Milton, I do not have enough money. People were asking me, Milton, do they accept WAEC? Do they accept past degree? My degrees are not good. My papers are not good. My qualification is not good. I almost failed WAEC. My high school is not okay. This is a university. I think you should consider this school because remember, I always say, in as much as we all have levels, okay, you need to also know what you are doing. Don't take a certificate that is maybe 10 years plus and apply to a school that is not accepting that, right? And also, like I said, we need to know what we are doing. Now, to those who have extremely low level certificate, when I say low level, please understand me, okay? Because some of our certificates, I know some of my people who really have really bad certificates. Yeah, but again, we cannot leave you behind, right? The fact that you had a bad certificate, or maybe during your degree, during your high school, you didn't perform well, it doesn't mean that you should be left out, right? Good. Everybody has something. So if you are in this category, there is a school. I think it's only for those who are going in for bachelors. The name of this school is called Vilnius Business College. This school is in Lithuania. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this here is because, like I said, my main aim is to make sure I come into your life, at least help many people. When you call me and say, Milton, I move abroad because of your video, I'm happy because at least I'm trying my own best, and I expect any other person to also do their part, right? Let me do my part and leave the rest to the universe. So guys, check out this university. The only problem you are going to face here is, well, if your grades are not really good, I will advise you apply. Now, this is what you are going to do. You need money for tuition because their fees is extremely a bit up there. I think 3,000. Is it 3,500 or 4,000? I'm going to put their link below. They have an intake for February 2026. They also have for September 2026, and admissions is going to close for February 2026 in November. I think November 15 or November 30th. I'm going to link it below. Now, what you should know is the admission stage. You have to record a video like me. Okay, you see the way I'm sitting and looking at the camera. You also have to sit like that and record a video with your phone and tell them your motivation, why you want to study in that school, what inspired you. Okay, if your grades are good, mention it in that video that you didn't perform well, but that's not your limitation. You also want to study, you want to get better, you want to fix a lot of things in your life, and you want to better your community. Okay, sell yourself out there, because like I always say, your result is not the worst part of your life, because most of us were struggling to pay our own fees and we could barely read or study. Understandable, everybody knows that. So sell yourself in that video, maybe maximum 1 minute 30 seconds, 2 minutes video is enough. The way I'm recording mine, this is the way you are going to do your own.